Here is a quick look at Rory McIlroy's swing. He just won the RBC Canadian Open, and he just put on a spectacular performance, shooting a 61 on Sunday. So I thought this would be a great time to put together a swing analysis and show you some things that I like in his golf swing that he does really well with, and generates a tremendous amount of speed and led the week in driving distance. So looking at Rory's driver swing here on the left side, one thing that he has is really good posture. So he's got a really flat back. He's bending more from the hips, more or less kind of sitting down into his knees, and with a slight knee flex there. And his arms just hang straight down from his shoulders, and he's looking more down with his head here, so he's able to see the ball more through the center of his eyes and not keeping his neck too straight there. So his posture is really good. And then from his swing, one thing that I really like as he takes that club back, he uses a lot of his shoulders by turning and tilting. So his arms stay really extended here. That left shoulder starts to work more under his chin, and then that club head stays more out in front of his hands. So that allows him to keep that club in a good position going back, more on plane. As he continues up to the top of his swing, he continues to rotate, basically keeping his hands more in front of his body. He has a tendency to hit an overdraw as his miss. So the more he can keep his hands in front of him here, that'll help him with keeping his club in a good spot coming down into the golf ball. Up at the top of his swing, his left arm covers up his shoulder line. His left shoulder gets more under his chin. He's got good extension within his spine. It's a nice full shoulder turn. And then that right elbow is pretty close to a 90-degree angle there underneath his right hand. He also has a nice flat left wrist at the top. So when you get in that spot, his club face is parallel to his left wrist, his left arm. And then so the face is kind of pointing more up towards the sky here on an angle, and not getting too much toe down, which can lead to more of an open face or a cup left wrist. He also gets his right knee to straighten a little bit, which allows his hips to rotate, and he gets a slight knee flex there, or increases his knee flex in his left knee. So that's a really solid top of the swing position. When he starts down, he gets that club to drop close to the plane line right from the start. So he gets the hips to shift and then start to rotate here. And the faster he can start to rotate his hips, it allows that club to come and square off more. So as I said before, he has a tendency to hit more of an overdraw. So we see that club drop quite a bit under plane here, even gets underneath his right elbow, where oftentimes we'll see that club get more onto the right elbow and then move closer to the ball. So he gets the club coming a little bit too much into out, which, like I said, his miss is more of that overdraw. But as long as he rotates his hips fast enough, gets his shoulders to rotate fast enough, that's one reason why he gets a ton of club head speed, is from his rotation, and then that path coming more from the inside or into out path there. That's what's going to give him more of that draw. Through the hit, he's got nice full arm extension. He keeps that club head moving down the target line. The toe starts to move up, and then the hands just stay in front of him again. And then he releases that club and continues to rotate through the shot and finishing with his weight on his front foot. So really solid golf swing there from Rory. And as we look at it from a front view, so we take a look at setup here. He's got his left hip, left knee, and left ankle all in a straight line. He's got a little bit of spine tilt behind the golf ball, and his head is a little bit behind it as well. And then that ball, it's tough to see because of the camera angle, but that ball is a little bit more forward in his stance. So it's not, right off the middle, but it's a little bit more forward. I always try to get it kind of more off the left ear there, but because of the camera angle, it's kind of tough to see that. And then as he makes his backswing, this is where we're going to see the arms stay extended. So that left hip is going to stay on that front blue line. His head's pretty much going to stay in place. Arms are stay really extended going back. He hinges that club when his hands get about waist high. When he gets up to the top, there's that full shoulder turn with a good spine extension. And his left arm's extended more out in front of him. Left hip stays right on the line there, creates a nice hip turn. And then when he starts down, you can see he gets his weight to shift into his left side. He's got a little bit of a squat down there. And then here comes the rotation, which allows him to square up his club pass so it doesn't come too much from the inside. He gets his hands in front of that club head to hit ball first and then the ground. And then as he gets through the shot, he keeps that shaft pointing down and a little bit of an angle between that right arm and the shaft. And I always say try to keep a Y through impact there. And then continue rotates through the hit. He maintains his lean, his side bend towards the ball. That left shoulder starts to kind of work more up and back to create that rotation. And then he finishes with his arms continuing to stay extended. His hips are further forward than his upper body. And that's what gives him the power as well, is when he gets that spine extension through the shot. And he just stands up on that left leg. And he just finishes with the club more behind his head there. So really solid golf swing to look at there if you're looking for anybody's swing to copy. I highly recommend Rory's, even though his swing plane's a little bit too much into out. It's just another good one to look at and get that exaggerated feel, that into out swing, trying to get that club onto that right forearm right in here, and then getting a little bit under it, which will give you that consistent hit, and then just working on ball flight control from there. So I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and if you did, feel free, if you watch this on YouTube, to subscribe to my channel. If you watch it on my TV website, that's great. You can feel free to share it with anybody. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to leave a comment or let me know. Thanks a lot.